trying to get an airstrike over on that opposite side.
What's up everyone, Tom from the Airsoft headquarters here, and welcome back to the channel. Today, we're gonna go over some face mask setups that you guys can use while out on the Airsoft field. While I may not use all of these options, I have done my experimentation and my trying to figure out what works best with me, and these are some of the things that I have used in-game or have just decided not to go with. So first things first, the bare minimum that every Airsoft field is going to require is just regular full seal goggles. Now you can do a couple different variations with this. Obviously you can get something like a baseball cap, put around forwards in order to protect your eyes from the sunlight. Go backwards if you want something to, cover the front of your head. Oddly enough, guys that run their baseball cap backwards will also go with something like a full face mask because it helps protect the top of the heads and just helps protect the neck from sunlight. Now this is, in my opinion, a little bit odd of a setup. It doesn't really work very well for me. First of all, I personally like clear communications while I'm out on the Airsoft field, and full face masks just make it super muffly. There's also the issue where even when it comes to guns that have very, very low stock setups like this MP5 here that I've intentionally dropped the stock down on, even if I wear a full face mask, it clearly gets in the way. And I'm having to cant my head off to the side very, very hard of an angle in order to actually aim down sights. While I can aim down sights, it's not very comfortable and it's not very conducive to a tactical environment. So for those reasons, I personally don't like full face masks, but a lot of other people do. Get what works best for you. There are guys overseas over in Europe and Asia that are a huge fan of the full mesh type of face mask that we have here. Now, while this is definitely a really good option when it comes to any type of Nerf or non-fast hard projectiles that can shatter and get into your face, we have demonstrated just how ineffective these are at protecting your eyeballs from BB impacts. We'll leave the link to that video up above because BBs will shatter on here and they will leave a lot of residue in your eyes. So the fact that it's all mesh does allow it to breathe. It does allow for super clear communication like what I have here. It doesn't obstruct anything. This is great when it comes to Nerf or any type of rubber foam archery. But when it comes to Airsoft, these are not great. So even if you do want to use these for Airsoft, you still need to wear your full seal goggles, and then you need to put this on underneath, and that starts to make things really uncomfortable right here at the end of my fingers. So for this reason, these have not been very supportive to any type of Airsoft loadouts. Great for the ones that I mentioned, like Nerf or those foam archery games. Not good for Airsoft, not good for paintball. I have experimented, and I'm gonna put these back on, with, say, something like this, like a balaclava type of mask. Now, some of the issues that I have personally run into, this gets super hot super quickly, especially if you're outdoors. Because this is a super tight cloth, it doesn't do anything to actually protect anything. It will slow the BB impact down, but the force is still going to be there and it's still going to hurt a lot. It's still going to break teeth if that BB is going for your teeth. And hard to breathe in my opinion, and also gets all of that hot air, especially when you're in that hot environment. You're breathing super heavily, all that hot air is getting forced up underneath your goggles, which is just going to build up even more fog if you don't have something that is going to be a really nice airflow system. The other ones that I have experimented with is with the use of a chamois, like what I have here. Now I have done, actually it was this way. I have done wraps like so. And on the On the inside here, I would have bit like this and shot. Now this is super great because it gives you a lot of protection. It does protect you from the sun. It does everything that the full face mask does. It does protect you from the teeth. It's super fluid like the balaclava that I have here. The problem is that it still will promote that hot airflow up into the bottom of the goggles here. And over time, especially outdoors, this is relatively thick, and when it gets bundled up like I had it, it does get very hot and you could suffer from heat exhaustion or even heat strokes. While super great for super hot, it is not great for super hot weather paired with super hot sports. The very last example that I have here is going to be my preferred setup. So I'm still running the lower profile goggles. I'll run a hard helmet like a Maritime or a PTS Flux helmet, which I currently don't have because it's down at Arena for other videos. Now with this, a lot of guys that are doing the more meal sim type of setups will do just the goggles and just the helmet. This does great as far as having a mounting setup for your GoPro cameras. It allows for good protection. The helmets have actually protected me multiple times in those industrial factory environments where I'm going low underneath pipes, or I'm having to work my way into very low hanging spaces, and have protected me from multiple bumps and scrapes. So super handy to have a helmet with you and on you, not just with you, physically on you. But those guys won't wear anything down here. There are guys that will wear the mouth guards, like the hockey stuff. That also tends to obstruct the mouth a little bit and make it a little bit hard to get those clear communications. Other guys will just choose not to do anything down here, and then their mouth gets shot up and they lose teeth. I do prefer having, especially with these newer clipping systems from Valken specifically, to pair with their Valken soft-sided masks, and it will allow for easy and quick clip-on systems like so. Now I don't have this 100% tightened to the very sides here, but you do have adjustments to make it as tight as possible. And it does offer you really good protection, not only on the front of the mouth, but also on the side here. And it does cover the majority of the ear. So it is going to protect a little bit for ear shots. It gives you very clear communications. It allows for a very easy breathing. And with the fact that they have introduced the fabrics on the side here, it's super great for guys that have facial hair like myself. That mesh is not going to continue to pluck and pull any type of facial hair out. But also, when paired with something like an AR type here, which does not have the drop stock, it allows me to get as close to that line of sight, or the sight picture, in order to aim down sights, even with something like low profile flip up or flip down iron sights. So for those reasons, I prefer this setup. And in the middle of the field, if I do want to take a breather, if we're in a fob or something, I want to get the sweat out from my hair, if I want to take a drink of water, I can still have my full seal eye protection on. So I'm still meeting the minimum requirements, but I have more freedom to do what I want to do compared to the full face mask, which does not give me that freedom. So me personally, I prefer this setup. You can do a different combination of whatever you want. I'm in front of the camera often enough to where I don't want any type of BB impacts on my cheek here. And I just like it the best. It's just been the easiest to work with over my years of doing this airsoft stuff, and I like it the best. So that is what I run. Those are some of the things that I have run and things that I have noticed, and just my 2 cents on some of the full face coverings and setups. If you guys do have any further questions about these setups or any other setups, leave them down into the comments section below. Real quick though, I am working on a couple of different anti-fog solutions made for goggle setups. So I'm running through and I'm experimenting with them. and I'll have a video on anti-fog solutions here in the next week or two. So stay tuned for that. Again, if you have any further questions, put them down in the comment section below. I'll do my best to get to them and answer them. But with all that done, we are taken care of. So you guys take care, stay safe, stay positive, and I'll see you in the next one. Take care. I can still have my full seal eye protection on, so I'm still meeting the minimum requirements, but I have more freedom to do what I want to do compared to the full face mask, which does not give me that freedom.